Staring at a stack of bills at the kitchen table while the kids are finally asleep is a uniquely isolating experience. You feel the crushing weight of paycheck-to-paycheck living, wondering how you are supposed to build a secure future when just surviving the present takes absolutely everything you have. The idea of investing often feels like a luxury reserved exclusively for the already wealthy, a distant dream completely disconnected from the harsh reality of stretching a single income just to keep the lights on. But that exhausting cycle does not have to be your permanent reality. The human story of overcoming significant financial hardship often starts not with a winning lottery ticket or a massive unexpected inheritance, but with a quiet, fierce decision to change the trajectory of your family. One single mom faced that exact same kitchen table dread and chose an entirely different path, proving that lasting wealth is built through disciplined, small-scale actions rather than giant, risky leaps. Her journey began with a ruthless, honest examination of her daily spending habits. Finding extra money when you are a single mom feels mathematically impossible, but she started by tracking every single dollar that left her bank account. She systematically cut out the silent leaks in her budget, those small, unnoticed expenses and subscriptions that drain your hard-earned resources without adding any real, tangible value to your life. Before she could actively build her future, she had to stop the financial bleeding from her past. She tackled her high-interest credit cards using the debt avalanche method, which means targeting the debt with the highest interest rate first, while paying the bare minimum on everything else by eliminating the most expensive debt first. She freed up critical cash flow faster, turning the money that used to go to endless bank fees into a powerful weapon for her own financial freedom. Real quick, if budgeting and paying off debt still feel overwhelming, I built something to fix that. It is called the Wealth Playbook. It is a simple app where you plug in your income and your debts, and it instantly shows you a budget that actually works and the fastest way to be debt-free. No spreadsheets, no logins, no finance degree required. I made it for exactly where most of us start, from scratch. The link is in the description. Go check it out and let me know your debt-free date in the comments. With the heavy, suffocating chains of consumer debt finally broken, a profound psychological shift occurred. She no longer worked just to enrich her creditors, but began directing that newly freed cash toward her own solid foundation. This embodies the core principle of paying yourself first, treating your future financial stability as a non-negotiable monthly bill that must be satisfied before any other discretionary spending occurs. She decided to channel these precious funds into dividend investing. If you are entirely new to this concept, a dividend is simply a portion of a company's profit that is paid out directly to its shareholders. When you own shares in established dividend-paying companies, they literally deposit cold, hard cash into your brokerage account on a regular basis, usually every single quarter, just to reward you for holding their stock. Her initial purchases were incredibly modest, sometimes just a fraction of a single share bought with whatever tiny amount was left over at the end of the month. It felt agonizingly slow at first, almost insignificant compared to the massive mountain of her long-term retirement goals. Yet, the very moment that first dividend payment of just a few cents landed in her account, a profound mental barrier was permanently shattered. She had officially earned actual money without trading her precious time and physical labor for it. This introduces the absolute magic of compound interest, the process where the money your money makes starts making its own money. It is the fundamental, underlying engine of all major wealth creation, turning simple time and unwavering patience into your most valuable and productive financial assets. To maximize this powerful engine, she utilized automated dividend reinvestment. Instead of cashing out those small quarterly payments to buy a coffee, she set up her account to automatically use those dividends to buy more fractional shares of the exact same stock. This is often called a DRIP, or dividend reinvestment plan, and it is the ultimate secret weapon for anyone trying to build significant wealth from a very small starting point. This specific strategy fundamentally changed how her household operated on a daily basis. Every time she considered a frivolous purchase, she automatically translated that cost into how many dividend-paying shares it could buy instead. The entire household mindset shifted from immediate gratification to long-term security, teaching her children by powerful example the incredible value of delayed gratification and highly intentional spending. As the challenging months turned into years, the undeniable math began to work heavily in her favor. Those fractional shares steadily grew into whole shares, and the pennies in dividend payments multiplied into dollars. The reinvestment loop continuously accelerated, buying more shares which generated more dividends, which bought even more shares, creating a beautiful, self-sustaining cycle of growth that required zero extra effort on her part. This compounding effect is exactly why you do not need a massive lump sum of cash to get started. Unwavering consistency is far more powerful than starting capital when you have years of time on your side. Even the absolute smallest contributions, when left alone to multiply undisturbed, will eventually outpace erratic, large-scale investments driven by sudden emotion or impossible market timing. Naturally, the broader economic landscape presented its own terrifying challenges along the way. There were dark periods when the global stock market dipped sharply, and the value of her portfolio looked incredibly discouraging on paper. When news headlines screamed about impending economic downturns, the natural human instinct was to panic and sell everything just to protect what little safety she had built. Panic selling is the single fastest way to completely destroy a well-planned financial future. Many beginner investors abandon their carefully crafted strategy at the very first sign of market volatility, locking in their temporary losses and missing out entirely on the eventual market recovery. She had to learn to separate the daily chaotic noise of the stock market from the underlying fundamental health of the company she owned. She found incredible peace by focusing entirely on her rising share count and her dividend yield, rather than the wildly fluctuating daily stock price. The dividend yield is simply the annual dividend payment divided by the stock price, showing you the percentage return on your investment in pure cash. As long as the companies continued to pay and grow their dividends, the temporary drop in stock price just meant her reinvested dividends were buying new shares on a massive sale. As her career slowly progressed and her income incrementally increased, she successfully avoided the dangerous trap of lifestyle creep. Instead of immediately upgrading her car or moving to a much more expensive apartment, she directed every single raise and workplace bonus straight into her investment accounts. She maintained her disciplined, frugal baseline, allowing her wealth-building engine to consume every extra dollar she managed to earn. The daily sacrifices were incredibly real, but the long-term payoff became utterly undeniable. One day, she looked at her monthly dividend income statement and realized it was finally enough to cover her entire grocery bill. That was a monumental victory, representing a tangible, life-giving piece of her existence that was now fully funded by her past discipline rather than her current exhausting labor. To protect this rapidly growing income stream, she learned the critical importance of asset allocation. This simply means spreading your investments intelligently across different types of companies and economic sectors, so that if one specific industry struggles, your entire portfolio does not collapse. By diversifying her holdings, she built a highly resilient financial fortress that could easily withstand unexpected economic shocks. The narrative of her life completely transformed from a desperate story of survival into a brilliant blueprint for generational wealth. The crippling anxiety that used to keep her awake at night was permanently replaced by a quiet, unshakable confidence. She was no longer just a single mom scraping by. She was an intelligent investor, a strategic capital allocator, and the undisputed architect of her family's financial destiny. Her children grew up watching this incredible transformation, absorbing the priceless lessons of patience, strict budgeting, and the immense power of owning productive assets. They entered adulthood not with a heavy burden of inherited debt, but with a profound, practical understanding of how money actually works in the real world. She had successfully broken the generational cycle of financial illiteracy for her entire bloodline. If you are standing at the very base of this financial mountain right now, feeling like your small, painful contributions do not matter, remember her journey. Every single dollar you bravely redirect from mindless consumption to intentional investment is a solid brick in the foundation of your future freedom. It does not require a genius intellect or insider Wall Street knowledge, just the stubborn, relentless refusal to give up. The ultimate goal we are all striving for is financial independence, the beautiful point where your passive income completely covers your basic living expenses. It is the defining moment you finally choose to work because you genuinely want to, not because you desperately have to. Dividend investing offers one of the clearest, most reliable pathways to reach that exact destination, generating predictable cash flow that reliably grows year after year. When she finally reached that incredible milestone, she did not buy a luxury yacht or throw a lavish, expensive party. She simply exhaled deeply, knowing with absolute certainty that no matter what happened in the unpredictable world, her basic needs and the needs of her children were permanently secured. The wealth she painstakingly built was never about flashy luxury. It was always about buying back her precious time and her ultimate peace of mind. You absolutely have the power to choose dividends over debt, to choose future security over fleeting temporary comfort. The path from significant financial hardship to lasting wealth is wide open to anyone willing to take that first highly disciplined step. Start exactly where you are, use exactly what you have, and let the quiet, unstoppable force of compound growth build the extraordinary life you truly deserve. It's called the Wealth Playbook. It's a simple app where you plug in your income and your debts, and it instantly shows you a budget that actually works and the fastest way to be debt-free. The link's in the description. This link in all descriptions. http://dividend playbook. Real quick, if budgeting and paying off debt still feel overwhelming, I built something to fix that. It's called the Wealth Playbook. It's a simple app where you plug in your income and your debts, and it instantly shows you a budget that actually works and the fastest way to be debt-free. No spreadsheets, no logins, no finance degree required. I made it for exactly where most of us start, from scratch. The link's in the description. Go check it out and let me know your debt-free date in the comments. This link in all descriptions. https://dividend playbook. gumroad.com/L wealth.